Hello all, welcome to this session. In this session, I am going to explain and practically demonstrate the best order of providing the multiple catch blocks in Java. So let's get started. When there is situation in your Java program where you have to specify multiple catch blocks, then in which order you have to mention these catch blocks? In which order we have to mention or provide the multiple catch blocks. Okay, when you have to provide multiple catch blocks, when you have to provide multiple catch blocks in the Java program, in which order we have to mention or provide the multiple catch blocks? Which catch block should come first, which catch block should come second, and which catch block should come later? How to decide that? Here are some simple rules, guys. Okay, here are some simple rules. You see, coming to the order, child, okay, child exception class related catch blocks should come first, followed by the parent exception class related catch block. This is a simple rule, guys. Okay. If you want to find out what is the order in which you have to specify the catch blocks, in which order you have to specify the multiple catch blocks, simple rule here is that the child exception class related catch block should come first, followed by the parent exception class related catch blocks. Okay, so I'll explain this practically, guys. So hope you got some idea here, right? Which catch blocks should come first and which catch blocks should come later. Okay, so the child exception class related catch blocks should come first, followed by the parent exception class related catch blocks. So with practical demonstration, you'll understand it in more detail. For example, if this is a code from the previous session, right? This is a code from the previous session. So where we have multiple catch blocks, and this code, whatever I highlighted here, is capable enough in giving different type of exceptions. Okay. So here, this particular code that I have surrounded in this try block may give different exceptions in different conditions or situations. Sometimes this particular code may give arithmetic exception. Sometimes this particular code may give input mismatch exception and so on, right? So for that, what I have done, I've given two catch blocks here. So the first catch block I'm putting as arithmetic exception, second one as input mismatch. So I can put input mismatch in the first position and arithmetic as a second also, not a problem here because they are at the same level. This arithmetic exception and input mismatch exceptions are at the same level. So order doesn't matter whether I put the arithmetic exception catch block first or input mismatch exception catch block first, doesn't matter, guys, because they are the child classes. They are not the parent classes in the exception class hierarchy that I have covered in the previous session. Arithmetic exception class and input mismatch exception class come at the same level, guys, in the hierarchy. Okay, you can refer to the hierarchy in the previous session. So coming to the hierarchy, guys, this is how the hierarchy is there. First, on the top, throwable will be there. Throwable will be there. Under the throwable, what will be there? Under the throwable, the child class of the throwable class here is exception class. And then the child class of the exception class is runtime exception class. Then we have runtime exception class. Under the runtime exception class, we have arithmetic exception and input mismatch exception, other type of exceptions. Okay. Here we have arithmetic exception. Here we have arithmetic exception. And also we have input mismatch exception. At the same level, we have that. Okay. Here we also have input mismatch exception. Also we have. Okay. Arithmetic exception, input mismatch exception, and so on we have. Okay. Arithmetic exception. They are at the same level. Since this particular both exceptions in the exception hierarchy are at the same level. Okay. I can provide this arithmetic exception in the first position or input here arithmetic exception second position also, not a problem. Or I can provide arithmetic exception in the first position and then input mismatch in the second position. The order doesn't matter here in this example. But what if in this kind of situation, what if this particular code that I have mentioned here may result in any other type of exception apart from this arithmetic and input mismatch exception. How to handle that? Here we have two catch blocks, and we are sure that this particular code that I have highlighted or surrounded with a try block here may result sometime in arithmetic exception or may result in input mismatch exception in some situations. But what if, apart from these two exceptions, some other exception type may come here? We don't know, right? It may happen. Apart from these two exception types, what if there is a possibility of other type of exception that we don't know? So the best way to solve this problem here is you have to write one more catch block, that is exception E. Okay, exception E, and here I'll write system.out.println. Give me a second. Okay, here exception got handled. I just want to find out which exception. E. I'll print E. That's it. So this is the best way of writing. Okay, in the market, a lot of people will write when we have multiple catch blocks. Apart from providing the individual exception types that this particular code may occur, okay, based on the exception types that may occur here, we generally write the catch blocks, multiple catch blocks like arithmetic exception, input mismatch in this example. But who knows? And another type of exception may come apart from the arithmetic exception and input mismatch. So, as a backup, at the end of all these exception types, having the catch blocks, every exception type is having a catch block, right? At the end of all these catch blocks, which are suspecting that these exception types may occur in the code, because of which we are writing the catch blocks for every specific exception type that this particular code may result. But at the end, close it with exception catch block. Why? If in case some other exception comes apart from the arithmetic exception and input mismatch exception, this catch block will handle. That's a good thing, right? You see, you have the idea that this code may result in arithmetic exception, input mismatch exception. We cannot think all the possibilities, right? Who knows what? Sometimes suddenly some other type of exception will come out of nowhere. But you thought that only arithmetic and input mismatch mismatch exception may come. But suddenly this code has generated some other type of exception that you have never expected. So as a backup, if in case other type of exception is thrown by this particular code, for handling that, you at the end of all this specific exception catch blocks, at the end you write the general exception catch block, so that whatever the exception types it may generate apart from this catch block can handle if in case as a backup. Now, if that is a best practice and if you have created multiple catch blocks with arithmetic exception, input mismatch exception and exception catch blocks, then is the exception catch block is at the correct position? Yes. Because the child exception class related catch block should come first, followed by the parent exception class related catch blocks. As I mentioned here, right? Exception is a parent of the arithmetic and input mismatch. So it should come. This catch block of this exception should come after this catch block of the arithmetic exception and input mismatch. For these two items, the order doesn't matter. They are at the same level, but exception is a parent. So after writing the catch blocks of this arithmetic exception and input mismatch exception, then only exception should come. And this is a best practice also. At the same time, this is a best practice. The order is there, and also this is the best way of writing the multiple catch blocks in Java programming. Whenever you have to write multiple catch blocks, first write the child class related, exception class related catch blocks, followed by the parent class. And at the end, as a backup, you specify the exception also. Exception catch block. If in case this exception catch blocks are not able to handle the some kind of exception which may come out of nowhere, the exception catch block will handle it. Okay, as a backup. If in case it comes, we have someone to protect the code. Okay, or handle the exception. In that kind of unexpected kind of situations, this exception catch block will handle it. That's what. Okay, as a backup we can put it. Okay, guys, you understood, right? So you may ask me, can I put this exception in the beginning? You will get the error. You see, if you get this arithmetic exception, this catch block will handle. Then what is the use of providing this arithmetic exception catch block? If I am providing this exception at the exception catch block in the first position in the order, whether it is arithmetic or input mismatch or any other type, this exception catch block only will handle. Then what is the use of writing this? That is the reason if you write this catch block of the exception, parent exception class at the end, if arithmetic exception catch block is not able to handle, if input mismatch exception is not able to handle the exception, then only this catch block will be handling such kind of exception. Okay? So that's why the order of the multiple catch blocks is also important. The parent class related exception classes should come later, and the child class related exception catch block should come first. That's the order. Clear, everyone? And as a backup, as a good practice, every time you create multiple catch blocks, as a backup and as a good practice, at the end of this multiple catch blocks of specific exception types that catch blocks are handling, at the end, better to provide the common parent exception class in the catch block. Okay? As a backup, you put no matter whether it is required or not. Unexpected things may happen in the programming. If unexpectedly some other exception type comes, this catch block will handle it. That's why it is a best practice. Okay? And the order should be exception should come last and the child class exception classes catch block should come first. Simple. So that's all for this session. So see you in the next session. Thank you. Bye bye.